Cheltenham at Boyle Sports. Bring it on.
All right, listen, we'll move on to Friday then in the Gold Cup as well, because we've got just a few minutes left on the radio show, and of course we will go back over, as I said, plenty more questions. The Gold Cup, and obviously we don't have Thistle Crack, we don't have Don Cossack, we don't have Coney Gray, but we do have joint favourites at the moment at the top of the market. Leon, do you just want to go through? So Native River and Q Card at the moment are the two horses to be taken on here.
Well, they're joint favourites at the minute. They're 3-1. Native River has just impressed me every time he's run. He's won 2 big handicaps. He won a Welsh National, he won a Hennessy. And he's the type of horse that just seems to keep going. And I think Dickie Johnson is the perfect pilot for him. He just keeps niggling away and keeps digging away, and he keeps finding for him. I'd hard to see Q Card win it. I still question him.
What is he now, 11?
He's 11, but I just question the trip with him. I just wonder that 3 mile, 2.5 furlongs, will he actually really stay it out? In my own mind. Djakadam, what can you say about this horse as a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old?
Finished twice second, I mean.
Yeah, and look, as I said, I think if you listen to Willie Mullins, which I think everyone should,
flying it.
He said he's had a perfect preparation.
Yeah.
He's going there fresh. He jumped like a stag at Leopardstown on Sunday. He jumped every fence perfectly. And he hasn't run since he got beaten in the Lexus.
Which wasn't a good ride.
Well, look, come here, listen, the connections have come out and said maybe they used the wrong tactics that day. But the one thing you know about him is he'll stay every single yard of the trip.
Okay.
And it's going to take a good one to finish in front of him. Outlander 8-1. Sizing John was very good in the Irish Gold Cup. He travelled really well. He made one little mistake. Robbie will talk about him.
Yeah.
Don Poley can't have him to win a Gold Cup. So I'm going to stick with Djakadam. I think third time lucky. He could be the horse. He's going there fresh, and I think Ruby knows he'll stay, and he'll make plenty of use of him.
Yeah, Ted, what do you think? This horse finished second twice. We know he stays the trip. I mean, the defections that we've had already. I mean, should he not be favourite for this race, Djakadam?
I had a few bob on him at 16-1 early on. I certainly wouldn't back him at 4-1.
Okay.
I think he's a stinking price. I think you're making too many excuses for him. He got beat at Leopardstown. Ruby said he didn't make enough use of him. He got beat at Punchestown last year. He's second twice there. He fell there another day, the fence around past the stands. He got beat at Aintree.
Yeah.
He got beat there as a novice with Paul Townend. Real good horses don't have all them duck eggs, not duck eggs behind him, but those reasons. Now, he may very well win, and I'm glad to be on him at 16-1, but I think if you're into backing him at 4-1, you're hard up for a bet.
Okay, well then there's a horse there, and I want to get to Robbie in just a second, but there's a horse a little bit further down the betting, Champagne West, who won the Thyestes this year, who I think might have a squeak at a bigger price. Joseph, what do you think?
Yeah, he might. Horses coming from the TS days into the Gold Cup, it can be done. I think Djakadam done it on his own. I think done it. He ran a big race in the Gold Cup. Does it have to be a little bit question mark on that horse is jumping? Made a bad mistake in the last down the back in Gorn, and so I'd question mark his jumping for the Gold Cup.
Okay.
A horse I like at a big price is more of that. He's a very good hurler. Thought he was running a big race in Leopardstown. Thought he was maybe going to be finished within 2 lengths, 3 lengths of the winner on the day. And the step up a couple of furlongs and trip and a stronger run race will suit him. So Djakadam is a short enough price, and like the vibes are very strong about him. But I like more of that at the price.
Okay, so tell us about Sizing John. Obviously, you know, the 2.5 miles has been bypassed, and you're going for the Gold Cup. So obviously, you all feel he stays this 3.25 miles.
I'm fairly confident he'll stay. His pedigree suggests he'll stay. Every day I've ridden him, and he did his last strong piece of work this morning, and he just gives the impression that all he does is stay.
Okay.
2.5 was never an issue. I think the day he won in Thurles, he beat Sub-Lieutenant. I think he outstayed Sub-Lieutenant rather than he did him for toe. I think Sub-Lieutenant quickened away from him down the hill a little bit, got a length and a half. When he met the rising ground in Thurles, he actually stayed on stronger than him. He travelled very well for the Irish Gold Cup. It wasn't a strongly run race, and you'd expect him to have more toe at the end of that.
Do you think people are clouded by the fact that he's just spent so long on 2 mile chasing around like the likes of Duvan that actually they don't appreciate what he's capable over the further distance then?
No, exactly. And I mean, he did 2 years chasing around Duvan over hurdles as a novice hurdler, and then last season over fences as a novice chaser. Now he's stepped out of his shadow, and he's unbeaten since he stepped out of his shadow.
Yeah.
So look, he's a class horse, and you look at good Gold Cup winners like War of Attrition, Kicking King, Cotto Star. They all had Grade 1 form over 2 miles. He has that. He was third in the Supreme Novices, second in an Arkle. Djakadam, he was second, and he had good horse behind him. He had Fox Norton behind him, who's second favourite for the Queen Mother Champion Chase. So he has very good form over 2 mile. I think if he stays the 3 1/4, and I'm confident he will, he'll go very, very close. Ted is at to cheer me up a little bit because I thought Djakadam was going to take an awful lot of beating, but he's after. Listen now,
sure,
reasons why
you're
he
happy
won't
with
win it, so I'm delighted.
Yeah. Well, you're happy with your 14 to 1 about Djakadam, but
I am at 14, 16 to 1 actually.
16, okay.
Yeah, I'm delighted with 16 to 1, but I think at 4 to 1 for the people who are here tonight, I think he's stinking bad value at 4 to 1.
Okay.
If you look at all the reasons, I know he was second in 2 Gold Cups. The whole thing is that Willie is delighted with him, Ruby's delighted with him. There, I say, wouldn't swap him for any horse in the race. He looks terrific. Saw him at Leopardstown, he looks magnificent. But there's a whole lot of reasons. They were all happy with him on a few occasions there when he got beat as well too, and he got beat. He won at Tayestes, and since then he struggled to beat Outlander at Punchestown in the 2.5 mile John Durkin.
Yes.
And then got beat at Leopardstown. You can say Ruby said it didn't make enough use of him. That's a load of codswallop.
Okay.
If they're good enough, they win.
Right.
If Mahatma Gandhi was riding them, they win.
Okay.
That's only all rubbish about jockeys. If the horses are good enough, they win.
Right.
Like what Sam Whaley Cohn came down between Ruby Walsh and Tony Mackay, who've about 5,000 winners ridden between them, and away he went on long run.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
if they're good enough, they win.
Okay. All right.
Boyle Sports will give you money back if your horse finished second or third to the SP favourite, or if your horse falls at the first or last jump on every race at Cheltenham. Plus, bet €10 with Boyle Sports today and get €30 in free bets. Cheltenham at Boyle Sports. Bring it on.